Hello and welcome to another edition of the Quick Picks show on bookmakers.com TV. I'm Dean Ryan and I'm joined, of course, by regulars now at this point, Charlie Mullen and Darren Hughes. And we've also got a debutant with Colin Phelan joining us for the first time. We will have 4 picks from us. They will obviously include myself with the host banker to make sure that we don't draw a blank and we save our punting souls, and all the value from the experts has been proved impossible to eat. This week, of course, we go from La Liga in Spain to a bit of horse racing in the UK. We'll also cover a parlay on the NFL week 2. And then we'll go back to the Premier League for the host banker. Sandwiched in the middle, of course, are our new best friends from those stats, fantasy and general sports wizards at rotowire.com. We'll be joining Jim Coventry and Alan Seslowski stateside with 2 of their best picks for the matchups cross game week 2 of the NFL. So don't miss that. Okay, let's kick off. Charlie, you're up first this week. I believe we're going to Spain.
We are indeed, for the first Madrid Derby of the season on Sunday night, 8 p.m. UK time. And the bet I'm going for in this is both teams not to score and under 2.5, which is available at 6-4 or plus 150. It's been a winning bet in 6 of the last 7 Madrid Derbies. And it was also a winning bet in both sides' Champions League ties this week, I should say. Atletico lost 2-0 at Bayer Leverkusen. With Real Madrid winning by the same score at home to RB Leipzig. So I'm going for both teams not to score and under 2.5 goals. But a little side bet as well. If you do like your cards market, which I know that a lot of people do, including Adam Kenny, who's not here today. A little side bet would be over 5.5 cards. This fixture averages 7.2 yellow cards in the last 32 derbies. So there's a little side bet for you as well.
Good knowledge, Charlie. Good knowledge. That's, of course, in La Liga, Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid on Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time. Both teams not to score and under 2.5 goals, but also a bit of a disciplinary issue potentially there. Okay, that's at 6-4 or plus 150. All right, let's move on to a bit of UK horse racing. One of the bigger races comes up from Newbury, Darren Hughes.
That's right, Dean. Yeah, we're heading to the 250 in Newbury on Saturday, which is the Dubai Duty-Free Middle Reef Stakes. And I'm siding with Sakir here, who I believe is the best price of 9-4 or plus 225 in the market at the moment. I've scarcely ever been more impressed with a 2-year-old than I was with this lad when he won at Haydock the last day. It was only his second start. He probably should have won at Windsor in mid-August, but very, very babyish. Took a bit of a jink coming to the line and was ultimately beaten a half a length. But I think that probably did him the world of good in the sense he could then go and win an ordinary novice without a penalty. At Haydock the last day, pretty much nearly broke the clock while doing it, but it was the manner in which he almost broke the clock that really caught my eye. I mean, you'd have to be a blind man not to see just how impressive he was. Should have been a ring, is his main market rival here. It does set a reasonable standard. On the figure, Sakir probably has a little bit to find, but I'll be shocked if this Sakir doesn't end up being a proper Group 1 animal, much less good enough to win a Group 2 like this is on Saturday. As I said, should have been a ring, does set a standard, but I'd be surprised if Sakir can't burn him off.
Okay, that's Sakir to win the Mill Reef Stakes, which takes place on Saturday, 250 at Newbury, of course, in the UK. Current best price 9-4 plus 225. Okay, that's a bit of horse racing. Now we're going to go stateside. It's the NFL in action again, of course, and we're going to hand over to those masters at rotowire.com, Alan Seslowski and Jim Coventry.
I'm Alan Seslowski, along with NFL expert Jim Coventry from rotowire.com. Here are our 2 best bets against the spread for the National Football League in Week 2.
I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams minus 10.5 over the Atlanta Falcons. Look, the Rams looked awful in Week 1. The Bills' pass rush was unstoppable. The Rams had no answer. On defense, they couldn't slow down Josh Allen, and they were embarrassed on national TV. They'll come into this one angry. Add in a 3-day rest advantage against the Falcons team that must travel cross-country, and there's another advantage. Then throw in the fact the Falcons are weak on both the offensive and defensive lines. This is a game in which the Rams will win in the trenches. Matthew Stafford will have time to throw. Unlike last week when they played with the lead, the Falcon squad is not designed to play from behind. Once they trail on the road, this game will get out of hand quickly. I like the Rams to win this one 34-16.
I hit with the Miami Dolphins in Week 1, and I'm sticking with them again in Week 2. They're getting more than a field goal in Baltimore, who just beat up on the league doormat New York Jets. The new look Miami Dolphins are a formidable team and look to be well coached by Mike McDaniel. Star wide receiver Tyreek Hill had a video go viral on social media saying his coach is going to need a wheelbarrow to carry around his cojones after deciding to go for it on 4th and 7 to put away the Patriots. This Dolphins team is underpriced by the betting market, who are used to the team we've seen over the past decade, and the perception that quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is a bust. Dolphins' second-year wide receiver Jalen Waddle looks comfortable being the secondary pass option this year and scored a big-time touchdown when his number was called last week. Give me the Miami Dolphins getting 3.5 points.
Okay, thanks, Alan. Thank you to Jim, of course, as well, at rotowire.com. Do go check them out. They've gone with the LA Rams minus 10.5 against the Atlanta Falcons. That's from Jim. And Alan Seslowski sticking with the winning formula with the Miami Dolphins at plus a 3.5 against the Ravens. All right, well, let's see what we can do with the NFL. We do have a debutant on the show. It is Colin Phelan, big NFL fan. Over to you, Colin.
Yes, Dean, great stuff from the lads there. And thankfully, the NFL is back after game week 1. We're slightly better equipped to make some evidence-based assumptions. So with that in mind, I've gone for a 3-team parlay or treble against the spread. So that means I won't be taking the money line here. I'll be using the handicap or the alternative handicap. So first on the list is the Seattle Seahawks, who are being given 8.5 points against San Francisco. They actually started off at around plus 10, but this has come down 1.5 since the start of the week. Seattle had a great win against their former quarterback Russell Wilson and his Denver Broncos last week. And the 49ers suffered a fairly bad defeat against the Chicago Bears, albeit in monsoon conditions. Geno Smith looked a lot better than I think people expected, and Trey Lance is still finding his feet in the league. So I'm taking Seattle with the points here. Next up, we have last year's Super Bowl runners-up, the Bengals. I'm taking the alternative handicap of minus 6.5 when they face the Dallas Cowboys. They just lost their quarterback Dak Prescott to injury. And I don't think there's a chance that Burrow throws 4 interceptions here like he did last week. So I'd fully expect him to bounce back and dominate. Burrow's nickname Joey covers for a reason, because he usually covers the spread. And I'm taking 0.5 point off here. So that full touchdown win is covered. Lastly, I'm going to take the Texans plus 10 against the Denver Broncos. After a draw last week against a good Colts team, I think the Texans should have enough to hang around here with Denver long enough to cover this generous spread. So if I take all 3 of these in a parlay or a treble, it's around 11-2 or plus 550.
Thank you very much, Collie. That's the Seahawks, the Texans, and the Bengals. Keep an eye on the line shopping there, but an 11-2 treble or parlay at plus 550 from Colin Phelan on his debut. Best of luck with that. Now, of course, I did promise you a host banker. I'm 1-1. So it doesn't quite live up to its name just yet. But Tottenham are at home against Leicester this weekend in the Premier League, one of the matches that is going ahead. That's on Saturday at 5:30. And after Antonio Conte's called them all in early for training from a defeat in the Champions League, which probably wasn't undeserved, I think he's going to have them fit and firing for the final game before an international break in the UK soccer programme. So Tottenham half-time and full-time against an absolutely useless Leicester is the bet this week. That's at 5-4 plus 125. That's the host banker. You've been watching the Quick Pick Show. All the bets from this week are now on the screen, so you can check them out. Charlie Mullins, of course, gone in La Liga with Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. Both teams not to score in under 2.5 goals. Darren Hughes has got a horse in the Millreef Stakes on Saturday at Newbury in the 250. That is Sarkia. The guys from RotoWire, of course, went with the Rams and the Dolphins. Do watch the lines and check them out. And then Collie Phelan's gone with a treble or a parlay across the NFL with the Seahawks, the Texans, and the Bengals. And the host banker, of course, Tottenham to dominate half-time and full-time. That's been the Quick Pick Show on bookmakers.com. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you next week.